13, Madam Deputy Speaker.
With permission, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'd like to answer question 13 with question 21. As our manifesto set out, we are absolutely committed to reducing the number of assessments disabled people face. This will build on improvements already made, including reducing the frequency of assessments for those with severe or progressive conditions and removing regular reviews for PIP claimants over pension age.
Mark Fletcher.
I thank the Minister for that response. A number of constituents with severe conditions which are not reasonably expected to improve have contacted me with concerns about the current process. What reassurance can the Minister give these constituents that their predicament will be given consideration as part of any future changes the Department might take forward?
In the coming months, we'll be launching our own green paper that will be looking at claimants' experience, trust in the process and allowing claimants to lead full independent lives. And we will be doing a full review, working with stakeholders, claimants and charities to identify further areas of improvement on top of what we have already done.
Mark Jenkinson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I welcome the Department's announcement last week that they will create a single integrated service for PIP applicants and users. Can my honourable friend confirm this will make the application process much smoother for my constituents in Workington?
I thank my honourable friend, and this will give us an opportunity, greater flexibility to try out new ideas that will be identified in the Green Paper, making sure that we put claimants first.
Mike Amesbury.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Before Errol Graham was found dead after his employment support allowance was stopped, he wrote a letter to the Department for Work and Pensions, pleading with officials to, and I quote, "Judge me fairly. I am overshadowed by depression." This letter was revealed to the public weeks after the National Audit Office published a damning report showing that the Department has investigated 69 suicides linked to Social Security, which is just the tip of the iceberg. Will the Secretary of State finally make a statement on this report, and will she now commit to an independent inquiry into the deaths related to Social Security?
The Secretary of State is absolutely passionate about the need to make improvements in this area and is leading very important work. And on the specific point of the NAO report, we are working at pace to drive forward improvements and learn the lessons from any cases. We've already improved support and guidance for staff on how best to support vulnerable people, and the NAO report notes action DWP is already taking, but we are now carefully considering the NAO's findings and how that they can help further improve our excellence plan.
Mike Amesbury.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The passion certainly doesn't seem to be demonstrated in recent tribunal cases. The Department for Work and Pensions has lost more employment tribunals for disability discrimination than any other employer in Britain. Is the Secretary of State shocked by her department's own disability tribunal record, given that it should be, as the Minister said, leading by example? What will the Secretary of State do to rectify this?
Madam Deputy Speaker, fair and respectful treatment is a right, and we do not tolerate discrimination in any form within the workplace, including within ours. We have instigated a review of our processes and actions to ensure all employees are treated fairly and with respect. And I am proud that as a department, since 2014, there were 6.8% of our workforce identified having a disability. We are now at 15.3%, well above the civil service average of 11.7%, as we are keen to be a fully inclusive and diverse workforce to benefit from the full potential.
Paul Maynard.
Thank you. Many of my constituents reduce the number of assessments they face by discontinuing their applications themselves because they find it far too traumatic to have to repeat their life story over and over again to every public body that they come across. When somebody dies, the government has a principle of tell me once to help bereaved families to cope, only notifying a public agency on a single occasion. As he draws up his green paper, can he look at whether we can have one single source of truth for each claimant to reduce the trauma they face going through this process?
My honourable friend is absolutely spot up, and this comes up time and time again, and this is what's driving our desire to bring forward the integrated assessment, where a claimant has already found or secured sufficient evidence that with the claimant's permission, and only with the claimant's permission, that information can be used to increase the chance of a paper-based review and reduce the need for a full face-to-face assessment for other benefits going forward.
Neil Coyle.
Mr. Speaker. For a decade, disabled people and disability organisations like Disability Benefits Consortium have highlighted the absurdity of testing people with learning disabilities and progressive conditions every 6 months, and the stress for them and the cost to the taxpayer and to the NHS. The Minister says those assessments will be reduced. When can they expect to be reduced?
Well, we have already shown the changes, for example, within the PIP process, where we no longer routinely assess those of pensioner age and those with the most severe conditions. That work will continue to be brought forward as our knowledge of different conditions improves, and as part of our ambitious and exciting Green Paper being forward in the next coming months, claimants, charities and stakeholders can further identify how we can make the claimant experience much better. I know the honourable member has done a huge amount of work in this area, and I hope he will contribute